Hello, I'm the Casual Carper, and today my video I'm going to talk to you about a weekend break I've just had at Wigmore Lakes Lodges, which is based just outside Shrewsbury in Shropshire. They have 6 lodges and 2 fishing lakes. One is a match lake that's separate to the lodges, and one is a carp fishing lake that's just down from the lodges. The lodge we had was the furthest one on the right, which was lodge number 3. It's a 2-bed lodge, open plan living, and then it opens out onto a deck which has got the hot tub that you can see in the picture. Nicely balustraded off, and then it was just down there to the fishing lake, which was the main carp fishing lake. What was great about being in the lodge was that I could stand at the window or sit on the decking and just watch the lake, see the carp moving, spotted some carp jumping, saw some bashing the reeds around. There was somebody night fishing one night, so we saw them set up. Let's say I was there for the weekend. Friday night we just got settled in. Saturday I wasn't able to fish because it rained a lot of the day, and it wasn't the plan to go fishing on Saturday. And then after a day and another night in the lodge, Sunday afternoon, decided it was time to get the rods out and see if I could catch some of these carp that I'd seen. Now the lodge is just down from where you fish, so I was literally setting up right in front of the lodge. You can see the table from the other. Now, not all the lodges are right on the lakes. We didn't book this one specifically, but it did get lucky and get one that was right on the lake. There's a couple that are on the lake, one that's got a view of the lake, and 2 that are just set back with field views. So if you contact Wigmore Lakes, when you're booking, you probably can work out which one you're going to go to. From our lodge, it was just a walk down from the car with the stuff. I travelled light because it was a holiday. And it was about 10 minutes from getting the stuff out of the car till I was, as you can see, sat in my chair trying to catch some fish. We only had a couple of hours, but thought we would see what we could do. And it didn't take long, as you can see, until the left-hand rod ripped off. Was on some reeds on the left-hand side, trying to get me out, so there's a bit of a, hence why I'm pulling it back out. But yeah, 10 minutes into the session with a solid bag on, and that was off and away. So the carp landed wasn't the biggest, probably about £5, but take what I can get. When it's your first time at a lake, caught right in front of the lodges. You see the lodge with the door open behind me is the one that we were staying in. So then it was a case of getting some more solid bags on, getting them back in. This is just the spot I was at. It was so the lake itself is different to how it looks on Google Maps. On Google Maps there's 2 islands, but actually they've seemed to have filled in the gap between it, so it's actually quite a long island. This bit was probably about the width of a canal at best here. Lake swings off to the right where it's a lot bigger. There's a little inlet there that you can see in the top right where the reeds go in, and then into a little bit of what would be the old island with a shrub. So we had a couple off that corner there. Ducks are always about. You can see doing the voiceover for this afterwards because it was howling with the wind left to right, so it wasn't really appropriate for filming while I was down there. Then it really narrows at this point where you can see here, where so the reeds come out and there's a narrow gap there that's probably about 8 foot across. All the fish came from there. There's an aerator on that they've got. They had running all the time we were there, and the match lake also has aerators running and had a blue lake die-in. While we were there, that lake had a match on the Sunday, which I assume you would have been able to get involved in if you so wished, which was all the pole anglers with 16-metre poles. The match was run by someone with just over £60 worth of carp and F1 from the far bank side of where that was. There were probably 8 to 10 people in that match. While I was fishing on the Sunday, there was one person who you can't quite see, who's just across to the left, who was a pole fisherman, and then along to my right, about 3 pegs down, there was another person who was one of the lodge guests from one of the lodges further back up, who was fishing. I saw him have one. I'm not sure if he had much else than that because I wasn't really paying attention, and I went back in after a couple of hours. But it was a nice place to fish. Seemed to fish okay. As I said, we've got a couple more on the bank, so I'll just show you those ones now. 2 hours in total, banked 3 fish, lost 1 run. This was the next one that came along. They were all commons, £5 to £7 at best. the stock is supposed to be better than that, which I'll cover off shortly. What was great about it as a lodge was that I was there with my my family, so my 2 kids and my wife. So everyone was sort of involved. It wasn't like other places we've been where I would take the kids and we would go off fishing for a few hours and return again. It was kind of like we're all there. Everyone was sitting. We're all sitting on the deck. Well, I was sitting on the bottom, but they were sitting on the deck and would come down. There's my daughter taking a picture of me catching one. So it very much had a nice, relaxed family vibe to it. And then it looked like it was going to rain again. So after a couple of hours of catching some carp, decided that would be an appropriate time to get my net dry, get all the stuff back in the car because we were going home that evening. It's a lovely place, Wigmore Lakes. The lodges are described as luxury. I would probably describe them as being nice. I'm not sure I'd quite say that they were luxury lodges. If you look, there'll be another video live soon of a place called another place I've been at, which has a more log cabin-y type feel. They were like a PVC lodge rather than a wooden lodge, but they were nice. The hot tub's nice. It's very chilled out and relaxed. Fishing seems relatively easy, and it was a nice place to stay. I'll probably visit it again. May just go for a night fishing session or a fishing session, or we may just book a lodge again. But if you're thinking of booking somewhere, I think it's a pretty decent place to go. I say the fish stock. The owner says that there's a 30 and quite a few doubles. We only had 3 hours to get stuck into it. I did see one common on Friday evening jump out of the lake that was a fair-sized fish, probably a mid-double. So there are some bigger fish in there. I spoke to somebody I know who has fished it before. He's not convinced that there's a 30 and thinks that there's the biggest are probably upper doubles, but there is a reasonable head of doubles and some mirrors. Just the case in the 2 hours we were fishing, we just banked a few small commons. But if I go back again, I will do another video and show you what some of the more fish are like. And after a very hard 2 hours fishing, there was only one thing left to do, which was to get back in the hot tub before we went home. As you see from the hot tub on the deck here, great view over the lake, just down from where I was fishing, and a lovely place to have a relax. Thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you've learned a little bit more about Wigmore Lakes lodges where you can go carp fishing as well. If you check out my channel, there is other videos that should be live by the time you see this of a place called Brayton Park Lodges, which is in the North Lake District, which is very well worth checking out. Absolutely lovely locations, very luxury lodges there. Depending when you're watching this, at some point during the summer, there will be another one uploaded probably around September time of a lakes called High Lodges in Suffolk, which is the next fishing lodge on my list of places we are going. If you're interested in finding somewhere to go glamping or lodges with carp fishing, there's a link below the video to the guide on casualcarper.com, which is my website, which will find you. You can break down everything from lodges with carp fishing, glamping places with carp fishing, all your regionally broken down by which region you want to stay in. So check that out, the link's below the video. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions about Wigmore Lakes or my stay there or anywhere else I've stayed, just drop me a message, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, but I'm not that quick at replying on Twitter. But yeah, drop me a message and I'll do my best to answer. Thank you for watching.